Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Wednesday, April 8th, 2015. Well, the JOLTS report yesterday actually turned out fairly good, and if we were to take a look at it, we'll just look at the graph. Job openings total, you can see the dip here in starting to come down in 07 and down in 08 and actually lagged into 09 before it started to recover from the Great Recession. So now we are at, from this point here in 06 and 07, we're at an all-time high. But is that good if there's a lot of job openings? Means they can't fill them, or they're not in any big hurry to fill them. I don't know what the story is there, but that was the report for yesterday. Just thought you'd like to see that chart. Okay, for today we have Jerome Powell speaking at 8. Boy, that's really early to speak. And EIA petroleum status report at 10:30, and then FOMC minutes this afternoon. And I'm not seeing a whole heck of a lot of press about it. So apparently it's going to, the expectation is, well, they're not going to really say anything, I guess. No changes, probably. That would be my guess, but very much market affecting for just a couple of intellectuals, banking people, money printers, or whatever, getting together once a month to chat about stuff. Sure can hit the market. Has nothing to do with fundamentals. It just has to do with how much money we're going to print and how much it's going to cost to borrow it. That's all. Amazing. All right, let's take a look at what's going on in other parts of the world. Asia's mixed, surprisingly. Probably, I guess you could lean a little bit. Oops, that's not Asia. Asia is pretty much bullish, and Europe is mixed right now, and flat, I would say. Mixed to flat. Not that either one makes any difference. I would probably call it flat, I would say, to slightly bullish. Okay, enough of that. Jumping right on over to the futures here in the U.S., looks like we might open up slightly. Gold is at 1211, still hanging above the current magic number of 1200. Oil's at 52.75, still hanging above 50. Dollar's at 95.57, I think it was, or 97.57. I think it was 97.77 or something like that yesterday. So there hasn't really been much change on the dollar nor on the euro versus the U.S. dollar. All right, our positions were helped a little bit yesterday by yesterday's move, I guess you could say. We could take a look at that here. I didn't really want Netflix here. I don't know why that drawing's on there, but let's go here to, we'll take a look at the ES. And here it is versus gold. So we're still, I drew that same as we had on the Dow, the same trend line here. I wanted to see if it was able to break it and what it does after that. I'm not saying it's not going to break it. I have a note here saying that a 20% correction would bring us down to 1694. We're not seeing that correction manifesting itself at this moment. We definitely have some decent support here around 2040. So I'm going to draw another line in here. So I want you to see this little dialog box. If I wanted to make a perfectly flat line, that bottom number, which is the angle in degrees, would have to be 0. So there, it's at 0, and everything else is at 0. And I'm not sure about the two numbers above it. but it tells me how many bars it is and everything else. So now I know that I have a perfectly flat line there. So this is a wedge. And by definition, a trend line that is shaped like a wedge means that prices are might become compressed inside this wedge and then break out at some time, or break down, one or the other. Of course, if anything happens, the market is going to change. We all know that for sure. All right, so so our positions were helped a little bit by yesterday's move, which, by the way, if we take a look on a daily, let's see that things looked pretty hot in the morning, and then they pulled back in the afternoon and actually closed down slightly. So today could be starting out much like yesterday, and we'll see where it goes after that. So we'll go back to our weekly and jump back over here. And I wanted to take a look at the VIX and see what's going on there. Oh, VIXy. Not really seeing much volatility right now at all. It's not the VIX. How come we're not... Oh, it's not linked here. Okay. Now we should see the VIX. If we go to the VIX here, that's better. Yeah. Now I can say VIXy. Look at this compression here. It's just, there's no volatility, and premium is pretty hard to come by. So that's why we end up having that, even though we're doing with 30 delta usually, we're having that 30 delta is ending up being closer and closer to the current price if volatility is low. And IV here is not very high. On the Russell, it's actually very low. Most everybody else is above 20s, and some Netflix is F5. Russell, yeah, the indexes are pretty low. The equities, Google's pretty low, surprisingly, even though it's sinking like a rock. I think we might have pulled almost everything out of Google. Let's take a look. I may just bail on that today. Yeah, I think I'll make a note of that. Alright, so noted. Actually, I think I could put an order in right now. That's what I'll do, just in case I forget later. And let's put it in for, I don't know. Let me drop it a little bit here. Drop it to 10 cents. Now, Google, I collected $1.15 on it. If I drop it down to 10 cents, that'll be $1.05. Two of them, $210 minus expense. So that'll be a nice trade. So we'll go ahead and ship that out there. Alright, we're ready to start with the A+ scan here. Alright, Apple, we have support here on the weekly. It came down nicely yesterday. I don't know if that's going to continue for today or not. Let's take a look. 125. Yeah, it looks like it's going to continue for today. It's not really moving very much in pre-market. Already sold. I don't know. This must... yeah. So, we're looking at 125.25, which would be down here. So, what I want to get out of that, I don't know. I got time this morning, so I think I'll come down here and take a look and see what's going on. Alright, Amazon also might want to exit that today as well. Any hints here? Hard to tell. Looks like that's pretty much the mid. It might open up a tad. Whether it's going to get into money or not, 377.50, 377.50, and I think it's going to open below the short this morning, probably. Baidu, I know I had that. Never had that on the list. No, we missed this particular nice little move on Baidu here. So we're actually waiting for another one. I'll slide this over. Chipotle. Chipotle should be doing well. We're definitely in a downtrend. And we have earnings coming up. So we're going to have to let that one simmer probably a little bit longer. Costco on the march. So we have a target down here. Let's see if we can come down. This might even actually be an entry the way this thing's moving. IV's only like 18. Jeez. You're not going to get very far away in this particular one. Say today, you might be looking at next week, which is the normal expiration. And a 30 delta would put you... See, these are a little bit too... This is very, very tight. What would a 25 delta... 18 cents. Man, that's just not worth it. Sorry, folks. That's just not worth doing anything. Let's take a look at the Dow. Staying below this resistance, declining resistance here. Or I mean, resistance. Gold. So it jerked around a little bit yesterday. Lots very gappy. Very gappy. Google, like I mentioned, doing well. We just need a little bit of a move down here and we're out of it. LinkedIn also just turned itself into a new downtrend. We have a target up here and we are in setup. On LinkedIn. And we're looking at 40 for IV, so we should be able to get relatively decent premium out of that. NDX. Trying to see what we have here. We definitely have resistance. Yeah, we're pretty much trading in a range here. This, I like to see what this one's going to do here. I want to see what's going to happen there. Are we going to roll over here on our moving average for the weekly? It could be. IV of 16, 14, 17. That's the problem with those puppies. Just stick with SPX though, I think. Netflix. We're in. We'll see what that one does. And then Priceline, I wanted to talk for a minute about Priceline. It may just take off today. So here's what I'm thinking of doing is just buying back my short position. And here's how we can take a look at that. So we're not quite to max loss here. I don't want to go there if I don't have to. But you know what? If you're going to move up, then maybe I can milk this thing here by buying back the short. So if I say I want to analyze closing this, now we're looking at if price gets to like say 11.95, then all of a sudden we're profitable. Break even here roughly. So 11.95. 11.95 is right up here. right around there. So not a difficult move. Could go to 1200 very easily. Could go to 1205. 1205 would give us $2,675 in profit. So, you know, it could do that. It could do that. So, that might be the strategy on that. And that would work wonders for my account, but not for the other accounts that are struggling with these indexes here. But anyway, the main account is the one that has all the money in it, so you can afford to do these kinds of things and take those types of risks. And the Russell, it's got me a little worried. It's got to stay down. We're looking like 50 cents here for right now. We'll have to wait to see how it moves. SPX pretty much is kind of the same story, but in a little bit better shape than the Russell. And then last but not least is Tesla. We just got to not have the market go insane to the upside today. Tesla's hanging in there, even though yesterday turned out bad for the overall market. Tesla still kind of hung in there. So good for them. I'm not putting them, I'm taking them out of my setup. I'm not sure exactly which direction this is going, so I'm going to take this out and rethink Tesla. Alright, so, hey, that's it for today. Have a great day. Good luck, happy trading, and thanks a heap for watching.